Hey, what's up folks? Welcome back to another episode. So in this video, I'm going to be showing y'all how to properly rig a slip cork for crappie. There's not really a whole lot to it, but if you've never done it before, it might be an interesting watch. But in this video, we're going to be talking about things that I prep, or what do I have in the boat for a crappie tournament. Well, let me show you. We're gonna dive into that a little bit, but first I'm gonna show you how to rig a slip cork or a floater rig on a 10-foot B&M crappie pole. 10 foot is a pretty common size for your length for when you're crappie fishing. It's kind of the go-to, but I've got this, it's a fiberglass rod. It's a real parabolic, got a lot of bend. It don't have a lot of backbone like a graphite rod would have, or a carbon type rod. So I've got another 10-footer. It's a graphite rod or carbon rod. It's stiffer with more backbone, and I'm going to be doing more vertical jigging with that, with whether it be a live minnow or an artificial jig. But so the graphite rod's got a little quicker action to it, a little stiffer backbone, and it's more sensitive. You can feel them when them crappie, especially if they're finicky, when they come up there and just peck at it, just kind of tick at it, you can feel it on that graphite rod. But the fiberglass rod, not so much. So that's why I'm opting to put the slip cork rig, on this, because it's just less sensitive. Not the most ideal for vertical jigging without a floater. But yeah, so that's what we're going to do. I've got some high vis Mr. Crappie 8-pound test as my main line. And then for this slip cork rig, I'm going to do it a little different. All I have is 4-pound test string, and I've got some trilene too. I got some 4-pound test trilene. I'm gonna make me about a 3 to 4 foot leader. Maybe go 6 or 7, because with this 10-foot rod you can do that. You can have extra long leaders, and you don't have to worry about reeling it up into your eye and messing up your knot or messing up your eye on your pole. So that's another reason why I like a 10-foot rod. But yeah, we're going to put us a nice long leader with 4-pound test, and I'm going to show you how to rig up that slip cork. And if you don't have a rubber bobber stopper, these right here will work. The little rope type, that'll work just fine. Little piece of advice: I very seldom ever trim much off of these tag ends, because you never know when you don't want your knot to be too tight. You don't want it to be too loose, but you want to be able to adjust it. And I don't think you really have to trim these tag ends. And you want to lightly adjust it when you go to tighten it. You don't want to cinch down on it. But if you trim it and you don't cinch it down tight enough, that's when you start to have problems, because it's going to slide up and down your main line. So the trick, in my opinion, is to start out kind of loose with it until you figure out what the depth is that you need to be fishing. Then you can always cinch it down later. Here's one of them little glass beads. I'm just going to go with one of these. And I said glass, it's plastic. But I believe I'm gonna use one of these. I like these a lot. They're a little bit heavier than this type, or even this type right here. These are pretty common. But that line's just gonna go through that little hole right there. Well, on this one anyway. It's gonna go all the way through it. What else do we need? Probably a swivel, yeah. So for that, I've got size 7 barrel swivel. What's this other one here? That's size 12. That's a little bigger than what I want. Well, maybe not. This ain't a barrel swivel. This is the kind with the little clip on it. I think we may use that instead of the barrel swivel. But either one is acceptable. Let's get in here and get us one out. We'll get her rigged up real quick. So folks, this is what we're using right here. Just a clip, a little clip. You can change out your bait real quick. And it's already got the barrel swivel attached. All right, so take my scissors and get my pole put together here. We'll run my line all the way through my eyes. Then we're gonna tie that leader on real quick, that 4-pound test leader. But what I meant to say, before we tie that leader on, we are going to run our slip cork. It's the very first thing we're going to do. And I'll show you why. All right, we got our line ran through our eyes. Time to put our bobber stop on first, which is the rubber one like I was telling you about. Real easy. Just take your end of your line. You want to go through that wire loop, which is at the top up here. I don't know, kind of hard to see without the perfect lighting, but there's a loop at the top of that wire above that little red rubber dot. Going to run our main line through it like so. You don't have to go very far, just a couple, an inch, whatever, half inch. And what we're going to do, the way I always do it, is I always put the end of my line right here in my teeth and just kind of clamp down on it. And then I'll pull on that little rubber ball. But you got to hold on to it, the other end of this wire, really tight. Yeah, I still didn't get it. It can be kind of difficult to do, and you can waste a lot of these if you don't know what you're doing. Maybe 3 or 4 inches, but you want to really get a hold of that and pull that line through that little rubber, that little red dot, basically. And what it is, there we go. Done, got her on there. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 tries. I'm gonna slide that way, way up our main line, at least 3, 4 feet, whatever you can reach. Now I've got about 4 feet of main line, our 8-pound test, high vis. We're gonna put this little snap swivel on here. I'm gonna tie a Palomar knot. There's our Palomar. Okay, now that we've got our bobber stopper on our main line, we're gonna put this little plastic bead on there next, and then run our slip cork right up behind it. Okay, I was actually going the wrong way with it there, guys. I always think that darker color green is at the top, but it's actually the lighter colored one. Once I figured that out, it was a lot easier to get that to go, that line to go through. All right, next would be to tie this barrel swivel snap on here. I'm gonna do a good old-fashioned Palomar knot. All right, folks, just like that, there's your slip cork rig. Right now we've got her set at about probably 4.5 to 5 feet deep. Let me slide this down a little bit. We'll come down even a little more. There we go. So there's our rubber bobber stop. To the floater is about 2 feet. Boop, she stops. There's a little glass bead. Boop, she stops. So yeah, and then with this barrel swivel snap, I can put whatever I want to on there after that. Whatever size leader I want, pound test, whether it's 4, 6, 8, 10. I would probably, with this one, if I had 10-pound test, I'd use an 8-pound leader. That's pretty good. High vis green, 10-pound test for your main line, and then an 8-pound leader with clear. But this one's 8 for my main line. So I got some 6-pound test that I'm gonna make a leader out of, and I may do a double minnow rig, or I may just tie me on a jig head. I could put a Roadrunner on there. There's a lot of things I could do with this particular setup. I could even put a Kentucky rig on there. But I really love the smaller chartreuse hair jigs tipped with the crappie nibble. That's a good bait. Or even combining the crappie nibble with the waxworm. That always tends to get good bites, especially when they're on the banks, spawning and up shallow. Great bait. But minnows, I'm sure, will catch a lot of fish when we get ready to go this tournament. So we'll definitely have those too. But hey, there's your slip cork rig, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed it. If you haven't already done so, like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you. We're out.